back to Smoked Meat with Jeff. Today I'm gonna show you how to make it's basically an appetizer dish, smoking some onions, and we're gonna bacon wrap this puppy with some other accoutrements as well. You can make this a vegetarian option as well by omitting the bacon and then substituting out some of the other ingredients for vegetable-based ingredients, but I'll cover that while we're putting this together. But take a look at the final product on this thing. Is that amazing or what? All right, so let's get started. Some of your non-food ingredients that you're going to need to make this today. You're going to need a measuring cup and a whisk. You're going to need a small spoon and a large spoon. Optional, basting brush. This comes in handy when we're basting this throughout the cooking. Going to need a couple of toothpicks, a very sharp knife, and I highly recommend using a Bradley rack for this. Makes it really easy for moving this stuff around, just like everything else that I do. And then for the food ingredients, it's going to be real simple. For getting this started, you're of course going to need some large onions. Don't go super ginormous, but you can make them as small or technically as big as you want. A couple of onions. We're going to need some olive oil. We've got some seasoning here. We're going to go with Montreal steak seasoning. This works out really well for this recipe. I don't make this myself, so you can pick this up at the store. Grill Mates makes an excellent Montreal seasoning, and we're going to use this for both getting this onto the smoker and then for the basting process. For making our baste, you're going to need, of course, some more Montreal seasoning. You're going to need a few sprigs of fresh thyme. You're going to need just a little bit of beef broth, and if you want to make this a vegetarian dish, substitute out vegetable broth for this one. And we're going to need some extra dry vermouth as well. So let's get on to making this little oniony concoction and throwing it onto the smoker. Only takes about 2 hours or so to smoke, but does require a little bit of babysitting. With every half an hour, we're going to be basting our onions while this is happening. Oh, almost forgot. If you're going to bacon wrap it, obviously you're going to need some sliced bacon. If you have smaller onions, a single piece will do, but you may end up using more than one piece to get around the circumference of your onion. So let's get started. All right, I'm so excited about this recipe. I got a little bit overzealous. Couple more ingredients. When we're finishing it off, you're going to need some flat leaf parsley. This is an Italian parsley. It's not that really coarse stuff. It's flat leaf parsley. And I'm going to use some Brie cheese that we're going to put on the top of this when we're done. And I also want to give a shout out to one of my friends on Facebook. I also know her from geocaching, Jen. Thank you, Jen, for sending me the recipe on this. I know I'm not doing the exact recipe that you sent me, but thank you for the inspiration, and I'm gonna have to make this next time you're over. All right, let's get on to cutting this up and making it happen. So for prepping our onion, we are going to basically turn one of these. So this is going to be the onion, what it looks like to begin with. Where the bottom here with all the little hairs on it, this is going to be the bottom of it, and then the top will be where the shoots would come out for the plant that comes out of this. So obviously you want to peel off all this this brown skin. Usually I take off the first layer to make that happen, and then you're going to take your onion with a very sharp knife and just on the bottom of it, where the hairs are, just cut off a layer to even it out so that it'll sit flat on your smoker. Then come down about ½ inch or so and take the top off. Grab your small spoon, and you're going to hollow out just the first few layers in there. You're going to peel that out. You're going to end up with a bunch of this left over. So you end up with basically an onion cup sitting like this, and then it's time to just start prepping it and getting it ready for the smoker with our seasoning and our olive oil and bacon wrap this. So let's move on to that next step after I get this one prepped as well. As you can see, I've got my onions prepped. They are hollowed out. I got bacon wrapped around it, secured with a couple of toothpicks. And now it's just a matter of getting this ready for for putting on the smoker. So to do that, you're just going to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil around the perimeter of each of these. Spread it around a little bit. All right, and then we're going to take our Montreal seasoning, and we are just going to season the heck out of this thing. You don't have to worry about getting it down the sides, because as this cooks, the seasoning will kind of run down the outside as we're doing this. As you can see, I have it on my Bradley rack ready to go. There we go, got our seasoning on there. And then let's turn our attention to the sauce that we're going to put on the inside. I already have the thyme, just the leaves of the thyme in my measuring cup. And you're going to do about a cup or so of your beef broth. And remember, you can substitute vegetable broth for this as well if you wish. Make it a vegetarian. And then we're going to do about a half a cup of our vermouth. And then we're going to take just a couple tablespoons of our Montreal seasoning and then mix this up. It works really well to just do this in a measuring cup, because then you can just have it measured out. And we're going to put a couple tablespoons inside of our onion. This one as well. And then this is ready to go directly on the smoker. We're going to be doing this at about 250 degrees. It's going to take about 2 hours, and about every half an hour or so we're going to open up the smoker and we're going to refill these little reservoirs with our basting solution that we have here, the vermouth and beef broth and all the seasonings. You ask, well, what was the parsley for? We got our parsley here, and we have our Brie cheese. We are going to put this, or the Brie cheese is going to go on in about the last 10 minutes or so. We'll cut up little pieces and just kind of lay it around the edge so that it melts into this as it's finishing up while it's smoking. Maybe put a chunk in the center. And then when it's done, we will finish it off with a little bit of the Italian parsley on top. So let's go ahead and get this on the smoker. 250 degrees, 2 hours, basting about every half an hour or so. And I am cooking with almond wood today. So I'm going to go throw this on the smoker. All right, let's take a look at how our onions are doing. I've been checking in about every 20 minutes or so and refilling the little reservoir on the inside of the onion. Oh, look at that. So this is where your basting spoon or your baster can come into play, because we're just going to top this off. Maybe pour a little extra around the outside. Well, those are looking good. About another, I don't know, hour or so to go on these. About 10 minutes before they're done, we're going to bring out the cheese, kind of lay the cheese around the outside so that melts down onto it. And then we'll chop up some parsley for the end. Over here I got some stuffed pork sirloin that I've got going. You can check that out in one of my other videos. So coming back every 10 minutes or 20 minutes, or I'm sorry, every half hour or so and rebasting. And then we'll pull these bad boys off. All right, so we're about 10 minutes away from these onions from being done. So now we're going to go ahead and add our cheese. Got my cheese here. We're going to just go ahead and place a few at random just around the edge. And we'll even throw one down in the middle there. We're going to do that for both of those. And then we're going to sprinkle on just a little bit of our Italian parsley. And then we're going to let that sit for about another 10 minutes or so and then pull it off. So I'm going to dress up the second one here and then let it sit for a little while, and we will be back. Perfect. Well, our onions are done, and they are looking spectacular. I got the cheese melted down around the outside. Let me flip to a picture here of what the finished product looks like. Man, take a look at that. We got the cheese melting down the side. We've got the spices. We have the little reservoir in the center with the with those juices, the vermouth and the beef stock. So this is going to be awesome. So I'm going to get this cut up and have myself some dinner. So this is Jeff with Smoked Meat with Jeff. Enjoy your smoker, and I will see you next time when we get back to doing some more meat dishes.